What's going on, everybody? This is Wrestle Talk with yours truly. I go by the franchise, better known as Podcast Tribal Chief. You know, this episode, as you see in the title screen, it's called Scenic Route. And I named it Scenic Route because everything that I thought we were going to get is not happening right at this moment. It's taking a alternate route, a longer route to get to where we need to go. This past week on Raw and Smackdown, we got 2 matches confirmed for Bash in Berlin. However, they're not the 2 matches that I expected. I don't think none of us expected these 2 matches, especially the Undisputed Championship match that was announced on Smackdown. Obviously, there is reason for the World Championship and Bash in Berlin. There is a reason for that. And I loved that they went back and called back to what happened at King and Queen of the Ring. But the Undisputed one is kind of an interesting take. But I do have a way that we can get to what we've been anticipating and what we've been thinking is going to happen, which is Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes before the end of the year. Probably at Bad Blood. I keep pointing at Bad Blood because I really think that they are going to knock it out the park with Bad Blood because of the name of the show and because of the stories that we have leading up to Bad Blood. Even some stories that we may not think is a thing, but it could lead into a match happening at Bad Blood. So let's dive right into it. I've been talking about the 2 matches at Bash in Berlin, and we're going to start off with the first match that was announced on Raw, which was Gunther, our world heavyweight champion, defending his title against the man he beat at King and Queen of the Ring, and that is the Viper, Randy Orton, who everybody knows there was some controversy over this victory that Gunther had. Randy Orton's shoulders weren't down. Triple H did state, we will see Gunther versus Randy Orton in the future. And he kept his word. And at Bash in Berlin, we are getting this match. I'm not going to lie. When Gunther was cutting his promo on Monday, and he said, there's nothing that would surprise me. Like, you know, what can surprise me? And the first name I thought of, it wasn't Randy Orton. It wasn't Seth Rollins. It wasn't CM Punk. In the height of incredible Summerslam, and the biggest surprise would have been if, and this is me, like I was sitting watching Raw, watching Gunther cut his promo, and he said that line about surprises, and he didn't say nothing after that. It was though as if he was waiting for someone to come out. And all I can think of was what if Brock Lesnar's music hit? That's just me. That is the fan in me. That is the dream match that we wanted to see at WrestleMania, but it didn't happen. But something was like, what if Brock just shows up? And I was like, I would lose my mind if Brock showed up. Triple H has made it crystal clear that he would want Brock to come back, but Brock is doing what Brock wants to do. And I may get into the Bobby Lashley conversation, and I think that also plays into Brock Lesnar's position as well with the WWE. But Randy Orton came out, and Randy Orton said, he compared this type of match to Flair Steamboat and said that he wants this match again at Bash in Berlin, and Gunther, being the fighting champion he is, said okay. Now, the one thing that I appreciate about Gunther as he is a heel is Gunther is not going to run away from challenges. He's going to take them on head on. He's not going to do the cowardly thing. And I think with him holding this world title, he's going to do what he did with the Intercontinental title, just have it in this prestige, hold it to this level of, I don't need outside interference. I don't need help. I don't need nothing. I'm going to just beat you with no assistance. Okay? And this is going to be a great match at Bash in Berlin. You need, because I think what they're going to do is, I think in Berlin, the crowd may lean heavily on Gunther because he's the hometown champ. But Randy Orton is universally loved amongst the WWE Universe. I mean, every time his music hits, the crowd is singing his music, especially overseas. So I think what they did was they had to get somebody that could sway that crowd to cheer for them, but boo Gunther. And you have the perfect person in Randy Orton. Okay. This also can play into the Undisputed Championship match. On SmackDown, we had Cody Rhodes come out, and Cody Rhodes was about to announce who he was going to want to challenge for the Undisputed Championship. And obviously we know Solo came out, and Solo basically said, I deserve a rematch. That wasn't right. What happened? You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Give me my title rematch. And obviously, we all know what happens. Bloodline starts to try to attack him. Kevin Owens comes out. Kevin Owens with steel chair. They scatter away. Cody then tells Kevin Owens, this is kind of awkward, but you are who I want to face at Bash in Berlin. You deserve it. Now, let's think about what he said. He told Kevin Owens that he deserves this Undisputed Championship opportunity. Kevin Owens kept saying, no, I'm good. Saying how there's other superstars in the back that deserve this opportunity. I'm looking in the roster and I'm like, okay, so Mello, not really. Not yet. AJ Styles, he's had his opportunity. LA Knight, he's the US champion now. Andrade, he's feuding with Carmelo. Santos, he's feuding with LA Knight now. Baron Corbin, that'll be odd. Apollo Crews, no. Hell, Giovanni Vinci, no, because we just seen a promo for Vinci on SmackDown. Solo, you could. Jacob Fatu, well, he's injured and he's one half of the tag team champions. Tama Tonga, same, one half of the tag team champions. Tungaloa, absolutely not. The man don't even know how to hold a goddamn belt. So who exactly do you have to compete for the Undisputed Championship other than Kevin Owens? So then you have how it came about. We all know Kevin Owens walked in on Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis talking, and Nick Aldis said that he was going to go to Roman Reigns, and he hit him with a reverse Jedi mind trick, where he said he was going to go to Roman Reigns and give him this title opportunity. And Kevin Owens said, no, absolutely not. Why would you do that? Started going on this tirade and said, basically saying, I'm going to get this title opportunity. And Nick Aldis said, you're right. You deserve it. That's what's going to happen. It's official. Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, Bash in Berlin. Here's where you can turn this and really create the Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes feud. Now, hypothetically, Cody Rhodes could have went to Randy Orton and told Randy Orton, I'm going to I'm going to challenge Kevin Owens for the title. Like, I want Kevin Owens to face me for the Undisputed Championship. I think he deserves it. Randy Orton probably looked at him like, really? Really? Like, Kevin Owens deserves it over me. Well, okay, I'm going to go face off for the World Heavyweight title. Remember when Randy Orton returned and there was the bidding war between Randy Orton, or between SmackDown and Raw, to get Randy Orton? And Nick Aldis guaranteed Randy Orton a title opportunity, a one-on-one title opportunity against Roman Reigns at the time. We all know what happened. AJ Styles stuck his nose in this business, and it became what it became. So Randy Orton never technically got his one-on-one match, and still has to have this one-on-one match. He's picked SmackDown so he can get his opportunity at Roman Reigns and that undisputed title. Now, we have seen the video. We've seen the video of Roman Reigns when he came back, and Roman Reigns, this video right here, and we can read right there what he says. It's only a matter of time that belongs to me. And you've seen Cody Rhodes put the 3 on the belt. So what I thought was we were going to get Roman versus Cody at Bash in Berlin. And this would lead to continuing the civil war, the bloodline civil war, because then you would have the bloodline interfere, costing Roman Reigns the match. But then you have Cody Rhodes helping out Roman Reigns. Then that's when you get a Kevin Owens, a Randy Orton. I still think we're still going to have that uncomfortable conversation with the 3 of them going to Cody, or the 2 of them going to Cody, being like, why are you helping with Roman Reigns in this blood? He brought this on himself. This is his wrongdoing. This is his karma coming back to bite him in the ass. So why are you assisting in any way, shape, or form Roman Reigns? Why are you helping him? And Cody can say, there's a respect that I have for him. Kevin Owens even alluded to him having a respect for the bloodline, the OG bloodline, but he still has that little bit of anger towards them. He still feels a certain way about the bloodline, regardless of his respect or not. He still despises them. Randy Orton can literally say, this faction almost took my career, almost ended my career. And you have aligned yourself, or you are trying to help the man who spearheaded this. And that can cause Randy to turn. He's going to lose to Gunther. And then with him losing to Gunther, I can see a situation where he gets those voices in his head get to him. And now his whole mission is to take out Cody because he's upset, and he granted Kevin Owens this opportunity when everyone knows if anybody deserves that opportunity, it's Randy Orton. So, Scenic Group to Bad Blood, we are getting with the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton story. It's taking a longer route to get there, but we will get there. Speaking of the bloodline in the Civil War, we did indeed have the return of the OTC, the original tribal chief. I am ordering my OTC shirt this week. So you'll be seeing me donning the OTC shirt. But we did have Roman Reigns make his triumphant return last Saturday at SummerSlam, and this past Friday he was on Smackdown, made his return back to his island of relevancy to reclaim a lot. The biggest character, the most important thing in this bloodline civil war. Can you guess what it is? It is you can say it is the title of tribal chief. But what is the representation of the tribal chief? We all know what it is. It's the Ulufala. The Ulufala is the most important piece in this civil war right now. we seen on Smackdown. And as I said before, if you look at Solo Sikoa's Ulafala, if you look at the Ulafala since Solo Sikoa has had it, it has lost its look. It doesn't look, like I said before, it doesn't look prestige. It looks rugged. It looks worn, torn down. It looks like it's been mishandled. When Roman Reigns entered the ring and the Ulafala was on the floor, and you seen Roman look at the Ulafala, it's as though as if he got hypnotized by that. And I've said it before, and I will continue to say it. With his father's passing, that Ulafala has more meaning to him than anything else. That Ulafala probably means more to him than the undisputed title. Damn, I done banged my chin on the mic. It does. In my opinion, that Ulafala has more significance, has more meaning, has more purpose than that title does right now because of the representation it means to the family. And the fact that his father gave him, blessed him with that Ulafala. Keisha didn't bless Solo with the Ulafala. Roman's father blessed Roman with that Ulafala. And then you see what the big thing is now. Solo's like, you want it? Come get it. Come get it. This is what you want. He's holding the Ulafala in his hand, saying, this is what you want. You want this. Come get it. Come get it. And we know, if you know, you know, when Roman Reigns took Tama Tonga's head off, there was some realness to that hit. You could tell there was some animosity because we all know in the past, Tama Tonga in New Japan and on Twitter has taken jabs at Roman Reigns. And I've always said, if Tama Tonga ever got to the WWE, at one point I was the one to say Tama Tonga will show him what's up. It's a dream match. I would love to see Tama Tonga, Roman Reigns have at it. Not right now, because I think Tama Tonga needs to establish himself more of a solo act before you get him in the ring with Roman Reigns and tell a story like that. But you do have that. And speaking of the Ulafala and the power that it has over them, did you happen to see once they had Roman down, did you happen to see when Tama Tonga grabbed the Ulafala and Solo's telling him to give me the Ulafala, and Tama looked at it and kind of seemed like he was like, it's like this aura, just something came over him and he got hypnotized for a minute? It's something about that Ulafala. It was very similar, not to the degree of when Solo grabbed the Ulafala, but it's very similar. Now, we've seen this too. This on Solo Sikoa's Instagram story. You lied to me. Let me say this much right now. We all know that Solo has been doing a phenomenal job with his pre-production promos that he's done, the vignettes that he's done. He's sitting in the room and the Bloodline 2.0, the Wish bloodline, the Toomey bloodline is behind him, and Jacob Fatu is directly behind Solo like this. Solo has been killing those promos. If we get one of those, but we don't see none of them in the background, but it's just Solo, and Solo is holding the Ulafala, and he is just explaining why or how Roman lied to him. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to call back to when Roman Reigns appointed Solo Sikoa as the next tribal chief and said, "You lied to me. You told me I was the next tribal chief when you lost and then you were gone for 4 months. I had to step up and take over the realm of being the tribal chief because you were not here. There was no order on the island of relevancy. Therefore, I had to come in and I had to bring in my crop of family. You had yours. You had my brothers. You had the wise man. I had to bring in my army. I had to bring in Tamatonga, Tungaloa, Jacob Fatu. I had to bring them in. And then we'll pay real close attention to the dialogue that he says, because if he does allude to a higher person, we all know if he does refer to, if he does mention a higher person on the food chain, a final boss, as I've always alluded to, I think it boils down to the final boss being the one who directed the orders to Solo Sikoa. Because The Rock is going to look at it as, you lost. Our family took a hit. Now Solo has to clean up. Especially if we do get a situation where Cody Rhodes assists Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes come to an agreement of respect for one another. That's definitely going to piss off the final boss, because the final boss is going to go back to when he had that conversation with Cody Rhodes and told Cody Rhodes, "You broke my heart." And as I said last week, I see you on the other side. As I always say, there's layers to this bloodline story. I have happened to see a wrestling TikTok, and the guy, and I've been saying this too, Cody Rhodes' theme music starts with there's more than one royal family of wrestling. Nah. There's only one. There's only one. It ain't the McMahons. It ain't the Guerreros. It ain't the Harts. It's not the Von Erichs. It's not the Rhodes. It's the Anoa'i family. Damn near. They have created Hall of Famers. They've created tons of stories. They have generations of talent that has come through the wrestling chain, the wrestling circuit. And guess what? They're not stopping. They're not. This is going to go down, and I will continue to say it till I'm blue in the face. This is going to go down as greatness, the greatest story to ever be told. Like, kids that are young, that are 5, 6, 7, who are watching this and is falling in love like I did when I was that age and fell in love with the business. If they ever say, I want to become a wrestler, and they ask them when they're in their 18, 19, 20, and they get into the business, and the questions that they ask is, what was your best favorite story in wrestling growing up? 9 out of 10, they're all going to point to the bloodline. When the Codys get old and he starts training, even though he's training now, but when he's to the point where he's sitting back like an Arn Anderson or Triple H or, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, and they're training the new crop of talent, or the younger people now like the Carmelos or the Austin Theories and and they're teaching the new generation, the future generation, and they're like, yo, watch this. This right here is storytelling at its finest. At its finest. I don't think you can get a better story with this much layer in it. You're going to have some stories that's going to be great, but the layers and the depths that they have with this story and the parties that are involved in it, I can't wait. Roman Reigns will be on Smackdown this Friday. I doubt he'll make an appearance at Bash in Berlin. He may not. Who knows? My question is, when are we going to get the wise man back? And when are we going to get Jimmy Uso back? And what role is Jimmy Uso going to play? Because I still believe, like the one wrestling TikToker, and I promise you, next time I mention him, I'm going to know his TikTok name. He feels like he may go rogue. Jimmy may be the rogue Uso. And it might take for Roman to really try to pull some strings, do whatever to get him back on his side. Because you got to realize Roman Reigns did a lot. And he's going to have a lot to do to get his family back. But as Dominic Toretto always says, you never turn your back on family. Why do I feel like I can always refer to this storyline, this bloodline storyline? I can always make a call back to Fast and Furious, because at the end of the day, it's about family. At the end of the day, it's about family. So, before I wrap this up, because, I want to get back to, I know the last two episodes have been kind of lengthy. I want to get back to like kind of having shorter episodes. In other news, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, known as the Terror Twins, are out for blood. We all know SummerSlam marked the end of the Judgment Day as we previously knew it. There are still a Judgment Day, and it is indeed Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Dirty Dom, Carlito, and Liv Morgan. We did not hear from Rhea Ripley. We did see Rhea Ripley. She came in to save Priest, but we did not hear from Rhea Ripley. We will hear from her first thing Monday night tonight. We will hear from the Eradicator on Raw. We did hear from Priest, though. And we did see a promo that Finn Balor cut. And as I pointed to, and a lot of other wrestling TikTokers or wrestling podcasters and wrestling fans pointed to, this stems from last year's SummerSlam, when Finn had the opportunity to win the world title and Priest came out to interfere. And it caused a distraction, not in a good way because Finn lost the opportunity. But when Priest won the title, in his mind, Priest changed. Priest became more of a leader. And remember when the big talk was who is the leader of Judgment Day? And remember when Judgment Day originally started with Edge? And their whole thing was there is no leader for Judgment Day? Yet we seen that Rhea Ripley and Priest kind of inserted themselves as de facto leaders. That's when the separation started. That's when you can see the seed started to get planted, because Edge, out of all of them, Finn still had the belief of what Edge said, that there is no leaders in the Judgment Day. We are our own. We are like a pack of hyenas, a wild animal that doesn't lead. We just go. We just go. So we've seen that, and obviously, if you've seen Raw, you've seen the match between JD McDuggan and Priest, and oh my God, the South of Heavens. Oh, sweet Jesus. That had to be the craziest chokeslam I think I've seen since Jericho got chokeslammed by Kane at Armageddon 2002. It was the last man standing match. Go back and look at it. It was the Armageddon with the Hell in a Cell, the 6-man Hell in a Cell with Stone Cold, Rock, Triple H, Rikishi, Kurt Angle, Undertaker, where Undertaker chokeslams Rikishi off of the Hell in a Cell. That pay-per-view. Kane chokeslammed Chris Jericho literally through the mat. And the way JD took that chokeslam, first off, the way he took that headbutt from Rhea Ripley was incredible. And then to get chokeslam was worse. So now the question is, when are we going to get matches with them? I feel like we are going to get a match at Bash in Berlin, but is it going to be Finn versus Priest? And then, no, I think what we're going to do, we may get Finn versus Priest at Bash in Berlin. We may get Dom and Liv versus Rhea. No, it couldn't be. It has to be Rhea and Priest. Yeah, it has to be Rhea and Priest against Dom and Finn. I mean, Dom and Liv in a mixed match, because we did hear that Smackdown had a dark match, 2 dark matches, and Liv was in both, and they were both mixed match tag team. So we may get those. Obviously, we know it's leading up to Bad Blood. Like Bad Blood, like I said, a lot of matches are going to be is going to have that theme of that bad blood. So we have to wait and see about where the Judgment Day storyline is going to go. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. We all seen CM Punk come out on Monday night. Was very much in a good mood. His whole idea was, yes, I lost, but you know, the war is still on. You may have won the battle, but the war is still going on, and he wants more of Drew McIntyre. Then Seth Rollins comes out. And I don't care what nobody says. I know the Podfather had said that he doesn't look at it as Seth Rollins was dressed like Cowboy, Hangman, Adam Page. But let's be real. Seth Rollins is the true cerebral assassin. Seth Rollins, when he fought Roma Reigns, did a lot of mind games with him. When he knocked on the door with the Shield, kind of like with the Shield beat, you know. When he came out to face him, he was in Shield gear. At WrestleMania 40, when he appeared in Shield gear. He even came out to the Shield music. Very cerebral, loves to get in your head. When he came out on Monday, he was donned in what looked like what looked like Hangman Adam Page attire. And CM Punk said, "Oh, you want to dress like a cowboy? I'll be your Huckleberry. Come in here and get this ass whooping." When these two actually have a match, it is going to be epic. I promise you. Seth Rollins is going to get into the brain and the head of him. He's going to probably do some moves that is going to be similar to Hangman Page. He may do some moves similar to Colt Cabana. He may do some things to really fuck with CM Punk's head. But that won't be for some time. Because as we all seen, Seth Rollins got, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6. Big Bronson Reed. Big Bronson Reed made a name for himself at the expense of Seth freaking Rollins. Now, what does this mean for Seth Rollins moving forward? There were reports that Seth Rollins was still hurt, and he was taking time off because he was written off because he is still dealing with injury. Now, Dave Meltzer is the one who reported this, and Dave Meltzer has been wrong for some time when it comes to his stories on his news reporting on injuries. Very recently, he did that with Dominic Mysterio. And if you read what he said, he tells like 3 different stories in one article. I think that they are playing it to the vest. They're taking extra precaution with Seth Rollins. So he may just take the time to just rejuvenate. I don't think that he's hurt. And this is how you can tell he's not hurt. Because when he was getting fucking tsunamied 6 times, and there seemed to be internal injuries, why are you rolling him on his stomach? Like, you're rolling him. So he's rolling on his stomach. If the man has internal injuries, you are not doing that to him. Okay? You're not. You're just not. Medical staff, referees, producers, all of them that came out there know that idea. If he is spitting up blood and it is internal, why are you rolling him? It's going to make it worse. Hello? So I think we are going to get some angle with Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed. That may be a bad blood situation as well. I don't really think that they're going to have that much emphasis in Bash in Berlin. I think it's going to be probably 5 matches, and it's not really going to be a big thing. It is going to be a big thing for the country, but as far as progression in certain stories and things like that, not really. But since we are speaking of progression and we're speaking on stories, one story that I have not really spoke about, but it's garnered I've kept my eye close to it, and it's garnered my attention, and let alone, we may see the end of a faction, of a trio, arguably the greatest trio of modern history, and that is the New Day. For some weeks, months, Karrion Kross and the Final Testament have made a living off of trying to break up the New Day. And Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods have been very adamant the New Day is not going to break up. That is until the events that we seen on Monday night, last Monday, with the introduction of Odyssey Jones, who came out to assist the New Day. And Kofi was very excited that Odyssey Jones was there. But Xavier Woods did not look too excited. Xavier Woods kind of looked confused, like, what's this? What is this about? And Kofi, it feels though as if, and Xavier kind of had that look on his face, and this is where you can make this happen. Now, Xavier Woods did hold a piece of information. November, I believe, is the 10-year anniversary of the New Day. It's either October, November, which is going to mark the 10-year anniversary of the New Day. Can you hold on to the 10-year anniversary? Can we see something where if they do something for the 10-year anniversary, that's when the breakup happens? Here's where you're going to find out if something is going to happen. Obviously, if you paid close attention when Odyssey Jones came out, he was donning a New Day shirt. If Odyssey Jones at any point does this, and does the Big E intro, pay close attention. If that does happen, pay close attention to Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods is going to probably be the one that's going to look like, no, the fuck he did. No, he did not. Because then it feels though as if, and Xavier Woods could go this route and say, you are trying to replace our brother, the one person who, we would never replace Big E. Big E is always going to be a member of New Day. I believe even one of the shirts that they had recently was a picture of them, but in the sun was Big E. As if to say, his spirit is still here. So could we possibly see, and Big E did tweet his excitement that Odyssey Jones was making his debut, and that was a big impact and a big debut, and he was proud of this. But the fans can probably go and be like, yo, like he's trying to replace you. They're trying to replace you, this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to be paying more attention to this story because this could be the end of the New Day as we know it? And could this be that Xavier Woods turns on Kofi Kingston? Or could we see Kofi Kingston actually turn on him, and Kofi Kingston and Odyssey Jones are the heels, and Odyssey Jones is his heater? That's his guy. That's his Kevin Nash. That's his security. We never know. Just have to wait and see. But I am excited to see that. We also had the debut of the Wyatt Sick. They made their in-ring debut against American Made, which is Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. I was excited. It was great to see that, to see them. Dexter Lumis is, as far as the person who I think is going to be the in-ring one that's going to stand out, I think Dexter Lumis is going to be the one. I still think Nikki Cross, out of the whole faction, is going to be the face of the Wyatt Sick. But we did see, and if you looked close enough at Uncle Howdy, at Bo Dallas, at Taylor, he was crying. He was very emotional when it came to that. And I think with him sitting in the rocking chair, when they came out, if you noticed, they came out and the lantern was in the chair. And I thought for the life of me, as people have alluded to, maybe it is a Wyatt Six, but the sixth member is Bray's spirit in that lantern and that chair. Like, no one would ever sit in that chair, but obviously Uncle Howdy did. And I was kind of wondering, like, when they were walking, I was like, why are they like, it's though as if like they're walking too close and there's not enough space. But then I realized it's because they were carrying the chair, you know. But very excited to see what else they're going to tell with this faction. It was a great in-ring debut. So I'm looking forward to more to come with the Wyatt Sick. Before I officially wrap up, there's two things I want to talk about, and I'm going to try to get it done real quick. Cody Rhodes. Recently, Conan made an announcement, or made a claim, that he has information on why Cody Rhodes did indeed leave AEW. And it was because, one of the reasons why, it was because of an incident that happened between Brent Baker and Brandy, and Tony Khan taking Brent Baker's side. I don't think we'll ever really find out the details of why Cody Rhodes left AEW in its totality. I think Cody has really kept that close to the vest, but he did. I can see something happening with Brandy, because the way Cody talks about it is he just did not like how certain things were done. And I think even with the news and the reports that we hear about how Brent Baker is backstage, I mean, she had a whole thing with JD JD from New York. And they were having Twitter exchanges, and how, it's felt though as if she's this person, like, there's a theme with her. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with her and Mercedes leading up to All In and their match, and how that's going to be told. I'm going to talk about that probably next week, because there is some things that I want to kind of spotlight on. And one of the things I will say is, I will continue to say this. I said it with Edge. I'm saying it now with Mercedes Moné. The WWE created them. Without them, they're nothing. They're not the same. And Bobby Lashley recently did come out. He was on a podcast. He talked about how we'll have to wait and see what happens to him. He's still under contract with the WWE. I think that what they did is they probably added more time onto his contract because of his injury that he sustained. But he did also mention the difference between him, Vince McMahon, and Triple H, and how he is more of he's more of a Vince McMahon guy than he is a Triple H guy. And I said this kind of leans into my situation with Brock Lesnar. I feel like Brock is more of a Vince guy because Vince understood Brock. Vince understood Bobby. He created them to be these superstars. And I think that they have loyalty to Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon seen and believed in them. Triple H has his crop of people, and it's something that we've talked about in the past. Triple H has his guys. Vince has his guys. There's only, I think, one person that can say that they're both, and that would be The Undertaker. The Undertaker is a Vince man through and through, like we all know it. He also rocks with Triple H. You know, that also can be why Stone Cold wasn't at WrestleMania 40. Who knows? But that's all I have for this week of Wrestle Talk with the Franchise. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you are new to this channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Also, thumbs up for the likes. Leave your comments below. If you want to get more information, follow us on Instagram, RCW_podcast. Also follow the Ace as well, RCW_Ace. I am the franchise, better known as Podcast Tribal Chief. I am out till next week. Take care. Later.